Derby County, Rhian Brewster. Is it a deal that could happen? Over the course of the last 24 hours, there's been a couple of tweets across the course of social media discussing a potential move from Derby County for former Sheffield United forward Rian Brewster. Now, although there isn't anything credible, it's certainly a deal which needs discussing. Now, Rian Brewster is obviously a player who has ability. He obviously does. He hasn't been in the places he's been and wasn't sold for the value he was sold for because he's a bad footballer. There is something there. It's just where is it? And where has it been for the last few seasons? Now, obviously, as of right now, Rian Brewster is currently a free agent after leaving Sheffield United a few weeks ago. But could he come to Pride Park? Would he want to join up with John Eustace? There's a few massive questions about this move and some which I don't necessarily think it's going to happen, but it's one which I think needs to be discussed. Now, obviously, you can let me know your thoughts down in the comments. If you have not done so already, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, turn on that notification bell. But let's get into it. Do you want to win yourself the brand new Derby County 2025-26 home shirt? Well, I'm here to give you an opportunity to do that. There will be a link down in the description where you can head on over to raffle.com to join a raffle where you can win the Derby County home shirt. Ticket prices start at just £1 with a range of different discounts available. You can buy 2 tickets, get 2 free, 5 tickets, get 5 free, 10 tickets, get 10 free, and 15 tickets to get 15 free. The intention with this is to give you guys the opportunity to win a Derby County shirt for less than the valued cost in the shop. So if you haven't done so already, head on down to the description, click on the link in the description which will take you over to raffle.com, create yourself an account, answer the question and join this raffle. The winner will be announced on August 1st at 6 p.m. as the transfer window begins to draw to a close. So if you haven't done so already, head on over there and get your tickets. Now, obviously, with a player like Rian Brewster, he's now 25 years of age. And honestly, I didn't believe that he was 25. I thought he was 22, 23, but he's been around for such a long time. Obviously, was a part of that Liverpool side which went on to win the Champions League, although I don't actually think he made an appearance, but still gets the opportunity to flex that Champions League medal whenever he can. Now, obviously, when we look at this deal and we discuss Rian Brewster, we have to sort of look at sort of the wage structure that Derby County have at the club. Now, it is being reported that a player like Patrick Agyemang is on between £17,000 and £22,000 a week, which means that Rian Brewster is still, based on his Sheffield United wages, about 15 grand above. And obviously, that means that Derby County's potential offer to Rian Brewster isn't going to be, in my opinion, what he had been offered prior with that of Sheffield United or maybe elsewhere. Now, I am completely honest in the fact that there is nothing credible to link this deal actually happening. And I put a tweet out about it yesterday saying nothing's credible to suggest the Rian Brewster links are real, but obviously a player of talent who's never really hit his stride. And that is my opinion. Back in 1920, he had a unbelievable season. I believe it was at Swansea where he got 11 goals and assists in 22 games. But the year after, I think he played 1 game for Liverpool, then moved the season after where he only played 16 games with 4 goals and assists. Season after, 2 goals and assists in 16. 23-24, 0 goals and assists in 14. And last season, 7 goals and assists in 42 games. Now, there's obviously a lot of ways to look at this potential move. And one way to look at it is you can give Rian Brewster a 2+1 contract. He could have 1 good season and we make a ton of profit. Or he comes in on a really good wage, doesn't ever hit his stride, really struggles, and we're left with a player on a high wage who ultimately has shown across the course of the last few years that is not quite at the level. And that is where your problems sort of arise, in my opinion. Now, obviously, everyone's entitled to their own opinion on this fate. But for me, it's a move that I don't really see happening. I don't really think it makes much sense. I don't know where this whole link has come from. It's not a move which I'd consider to be one that Derby County really sort of need to look at. Rhian Brewster, in sort of a positional sense, can play the front four positions. He can play as a 9, he can play on the left, the right, in that number 10 role. And don't get me wrong, we probably need a 10, but is Rhian Brewster really a 10? I personally don't think so. Obviously, if we look at his numbers last season, played 16, 17 games as that sort of striker, played 2 as a number 10. Now, obviously, as that striker, I believe on occasion Sheffield United were playing with 2 number 9s, so it's one of those where he may have been sort of the deeper of the 2. I can't say I watched a great deal of Sheffield United last year, or necessarily a great deal of Rian Brewster, but it's just it's difficult because I just don't see how this move really makes sense unless Eustace is looking at sort of like a 3-5-2, a 3-4-3. I don't really understand this move. Now, obviously, everyone will have their own opinion, and I know a lot of people will look at a player like Rian Brewster and look at his history of being at Liverpool, his 11 goals for Swansea, and being a part of a playoff team last year, but I don't necessarily think that sort of is what you should judge things on, because if we wanted to do that, you could go and bring back Martin Waghorn, because he played for a playoff team. Like, you've got to sort of look at the output, and I don't necessarily think there's a huge output. Now, over the course of the last 2 years, he's suffered 4 injuries, 2 hamstrings, 1 thigh, missing 30 or so. Well, near enough 30 games pretty much, and over 140 odd days of training and football. And obviously, that's just one of those things. It happens. Injuries happen in football. But obviously, we're in a position where we've already got enough injuries. Do we want to take the risk on a player like Rian Brewster? Now, would I take the risk on Brewster? I think if the money is right, I don't see why you wouldn't take the risk. But obviously, the problem with that is the money being right is so context based, because you make him Derby's highest paid player at, say, 25 grand a week or whatever, and he struggles, it's not worth the opportunity. But if you can bring him in 10 to 15 grand a week, which is probably whereabouts pretty much the entire squad is, then I think it's a really good move. But it's one of those where it obviously has its downsides. The numbers behind his career, the fact that he hasn't hit double figures since 2020 is obviously a massive sort of, in my opinion, a massive sort of down. Like, he scored 18 goals in 86 championship games. In the Premier League, no goal, no assist in 40 games. Now, I'm not saying that he doesn't have ability. I'm not saying that he can't turn around and perform for Derby County. But what I am saying is that the numbers behind his career so far in a goals and assists sense for a forward are relatively poor. It's 40 goals and 18 assists across 190 senior appearances, and that includes Premier League 2. It includes the Under-18s Premier League. It includes the UEFA Youth League and things like that. And I just think if you look at this deal from a outsider's perspective, if you look at it and take away the name and take away the clubs in his career, and you look at it and go 7 goal contributions last year, you go 0 the season before, I think it was. Like, it for me just isn't a move that you'd make if you look at the numbers and essentially silhouette the player. If you silhouette the player on the pitch and just look at the numbers behind his goals, his assists and things like that, obviously there's a lot deeper metrics than that, but it's one of those for me where I just don't think it's the move. I don't think it's the right one for Derby, and I think many of you will probably agree with me. Now, obviously, you should let me know your thoughts down in the comments if you have not done so already. Make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and turn on that notification bell. And I'll catch you in the next one. Do you want to win yourself the brand new Derby County 2025-26 home shirt? Well, I'm here to give you an opportunity to do that. There will be a link down in the description where you can head on over to raffle.com to join a raffle where you can win the Derby County home shirt. Ticket prices start at just £1 with a range of different discounts available. You can buy 2 tickets, get 2 free, 5 tickets, get 5 free, 10 tickets, get 10 free, and 15 tickets to get 15 free. The intention with this is to give you guys the opportunity to win a Derby County shirt for less than the valued cost in the shop. So if you haven't done so already, head on down to the description, click on the link in the description, which will take you over to raffle.com, create yourself an account, answer the question, and join this raffle. The winner will be announced on August 1st at 6 p.m. as the transfer window begins to draw to a close. So if you haven't done so already, head on over there and get your tickets.